was I?
Are we rolling?
Yeah, we're rolling.
Rolling.
Good.
Okay.
Okay. What was your favorite memory from the show?
Wow. I have a couple. One was God. Okay, I have more than a couple. I remember it was either after we got canceled or I think we just gotten canceled. Then we got there was a huge internet save our show campaign.
Yeah.
Which completely blew all of us away. We were like, wow. You know, this is before Facebook, before Twitter, or anything like that, before MySpace. And there was a huge network of people who were trying to save our show. And that, to me, that is like a huge memory. Nowadays we have social media and Facebook and Twitter and things, and it's developed into a much more stronger way of communicating with people. But I remember we had just gotten picked up, and then John Watson called us over to his office at MGM, and he wanted to meet with all of us and talk about the next year and any ideas we had for our characters and everything. And I remember after we had our meeting, we went down to get our cars and leave. And Dale Midkiff and I left at the same time, and we're standing in the elevator, and then he turned to me and just hugged me. He was just like, like we're gonna go again. I've never forgotten that. And we were just happy, man. Yeah. To get a chance to do it again. I remember driving home from set one day, and Tony had on his cowboy hat and his sunglasses, and he took off his shirt.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah, I know you girls will love that.
That was that's one of the favorite episodes. Oh,
yeah. And
we're like, oh my God, that's what's underneath those clothes.
Yeah, and he was cut.
Yeah,
And he took off his shirt, and we were driving home, and I was driving my brand new truck. Like life was good. Yeah. I just remember we just looked at each other like, like, dude, we're doing it. And we knew we had something special. And then I remember one night, like Eric Close is really fun to hang out with because he's just a clown. And is a terrific actor, but then off camera he's like my kind of guy to hang out with. Like he's so much fun to hang out with. We were goofing around at the craft services table, and we started singing gospel songs, and he loves gospel music and the gospel church and stuff. And I can't remember exactly what we were singing, but we just broke out and started singing then. And I haven't had that kind of fun with someone since then. I met some really great actors and actresses, but these guys were like, they spoiled me, because I haven't really had a chance to really clown like that with people. Like people I think are a little bit too serious. Yeah. I'm like, hey man, life's short.
Exactly.
Let's live it up now. And when it's time to work, we work. When it's time to play, we play.
Yeah. The other characters, is there any one of them that you really would have liked a chance to play?
Of the 7? Mm-hmm. Wow. Probably Chris. There's something about that point guard guy, as they say in basketball, the point guard is kind of the leader of the team. Yeah. And Chris, was our point guard. So I love that leader kind of role. The first in command, and I thought Michael did a brilliant job of playing Chris. He's dark, he's mysterious, he's sexy. He's all these interesting things. We don't know what he he's thinking. He can. He's quick with his gun, like the quickest. Or it's either him or A. Martinez. But I think I think it's Chris. Yeah, Chris is like he is the gunslinger. And I thought Michael did a brilliant job playing. And he doesn't even. I hope he knows this. I hope you know this. I was a student of his, man. Like I would go to set. I would be off work, and I would hang out just because I wanted to watch him act. Not only his acting was super sharp, but his gunfighting and his stunt fighting was matchless. Like he was just the best, And I remember thinking at that time, I said, I want to be as good as him one day. I don't know what it's going to take for me to get there, but I'm just going to work hard. And I have to say that I don't know if I'm as good as Michael, but I've done some think my acting's gotten a lot better, and I think I've done some really, thank God, I've been given the chance to do some stunt fighting. And I always think of him when I'm on set fighting. You know, I just want to keep it, I want to make it as excellent as Michael made his. And he doesn't even know this, you know, but I always think of him first.
If he sees this.
I hope he sees this, if he sees this.
Of my little blog.
Yeah, exactly right, yeah. I've done some martial arts on camera, some Matrix type fighting. And they asked me, they said, can you do any of the stuff? I said, yeah, I can do it. And I studied Taekwondo when I was a kid, so that helps a lot. And I just try to just bring it, man, you know, and I'm happy to say that I'm proud of the work that I did, you know, and anyway, Michael was my teacher in a lot of ways.
How would Nathan describe each of the other 6 and his relationship to them? Do a little role play here for us.
How would he describe the other 6 guys? What do you mean, like his interpretation of each character?
Yeah.
Let me see, let me think. Well, let's see, Josiah. Josiah is definitely one of the I would say, let me see. I've always thought of Josiah as just being kind of like, you know, like Nathan's uncle or something. You know, like they just seem like they're related in some kind of way, you know. I love how Ron played Josiah. I thought it was just perfect.
Yeah.
Let's see, Ben. God, I love all these guys. Ben.
Making him think, guys.
Yeah, totally. Ben. I don't know about Ben. Ben, there was a really cool episode where I think Ben, I can't remember, you can help me out with this. Ben was thinking about, he was admiring this gun or something?
Yeah.
Remember that?
Serpents.
Serpents!
Serpents, that's my favorite episode. Yep.
It was great. And then there's a really cool scene with Ben and Nathan. And then I think Nathan says there's a fine line between murder and something else or something.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly.
Yeah, but he was trying to pull him back.
Yeah.
Nathan was trying to pull Ben back. You know, because Ben was thinking about doing something with this beautiful weapon.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
And we know we can. You know, he's a sharpshooter. Ben, I would have to describe Ben as like in terms of like, if you don't mind, like how Rick Worthy would see Ben.
Yeah.
Like if Ben was here right now, Ben would be like a Navy SEAL. He's stealthy. He's you don't know, he can be behind that tree, you know, or he can be like 300 yards away and he's got his rifle trained on you, and he will make the shot. Yeah. You know, so I've always loved his sharpshooting skills and his hunting, his tracking skills. That's like a Navy SEAL. That's someone who is a trained, you know, top level soldier. You know, and I've always seen him that way. But then I see Chris that way too. Buck, I don't know. I kind of look at Buck and I'm like, if Buck were here today, like, would he be like Congressman Weiner, or would he, you know, would he? Because I mean, Buck was a player, man.
Oh yeah, totally.
Player.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and but the thing is, like, I think Nathan liked that about him, because Nathan was not a player, but he admired that. Like, you just get all the women, don't you?
Yeah.
You know. And in fact, I remember my dad telling me, he said, "You guys are doing a great job." My dad's so honest. He's like, "You guys are doing a great job, but I really like Buck." I'm like, really? He said, "Why?" Because he gets all the ladies, man. He's smooth. So, and I thought Dale really did it. He brought a comedy to Buck that I'm willing. I will bet anything on it. Not my dog, but I will bet $1,000 that no actor brought the comedy that Dale brought to. They probably saw 5 people, maybe 10 people, and Dale was like the first choice without question, because he brought a comedic level to Buck that was just, oh, you had to watch it. JD, oh my God, JD. I think Nathan and Rick would see JD as this kid, just a kid, but not in a bad way. Like he hasn't grown up yet, but he will, and not only that, he'll do it pretty fast. You know, if he's going to see some gunfighting and some killing, he's going to become a man really soon. You know, and I love that JD is not from the West. you know, he comes to the West.
Right.
And I think all the other guys are, if they're not from the West, they're from maybe the South or the Southwest. You know, JD's from back east.
Yeah.
You know, he may have had education, you know, but he always wanted to be a cowboy. I also very much loved the way that they linked JD up with Casey.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, because Casey's is cute. Like you could have played Casey. Like she's just beautiful and she's kind of childlike and she's kind of tomboyish, and that's perfect for JD at that time, because like that's kind of what, you know, he was still kind of a kid in a way.
Yeah.
But then when you look at Casey, you're like, there's a woman in there too.
Yeah.
You know, and then they grow together at the right time. It was just brilliant the way that they developed their relationship.
Right.
You know. So remember, JD got shot; he almost died, and then Casey was the one that was right by his bedside.
Saved him.
Yeah, Nathan
saved the day.
Saved him. Casey was, you know, she became, you know, almost like his wife that night. You know, like, you know, I'm like just there for him. You know, so I think Dana Barron did a great job playing Casey. And how lucky were we to have Robert Vaughn, one of the original.
I was so excited when I saw him on the show. Yeah.
Like I couldn't believe it. When he was on set, I was like, I can't believe I'm actually standing next to him. You know, and he was so cool and so nice to talk to, and so great to watch, because he's a master of the craft. You know, he's been around for a long time, and I just hope he liked what we did. Yeah. You know, so because we all admired him so much. You know, I wish I got a chance to hang out with him more, but I didn't, unfortunately. But he was always really nice to me. You know, but how are you, young man? I'm fine, Mr. I would call him Mr. Vaughn. I'm fine, Mr. Vaughn. How are you?
How Nathan saw Chris actually as a character. So.
Yeah. I think just tortured soul. You know, and in need of healing. You know, Chris, I see him as kind of like a force of nature. You know, like there's so much going on there, and Michael played him so well. Like you can see it right in his eyes. Like there's so much going on in there. You don't know what just happened. You know, and then as we discover, his entire family was murdered. Horrible fire. You know, and executed. So and why? You know, so. When to see all those storylines play out in season 2 was just brilliant, you know. And I love the episode where Obsession.
Yeah, the last one that aired.
It was so good. You know, Chris. You know, we see Chris. He's actually maybe getting ready to leave the guys. Yeah. You know, and settle down. You know, and then we discovered that is the very last thing that he could possibly do with this person. Yeah. Oh, the sword fighting scene with me and Dale and
Tony.
And Tony, yeah. That was really cool. It was I'd never fenced before, so even when I was studying acting, I didn't get a chance to really do any fencing work. If I did, it was just very, very minor, and I didn't remember much of it. But we had a brilliant guy, Anthony DeLongis, who is a swordsman, sword master, and he and I forget his buddy's name. They came on set and gave us this, you know, this 2 or 3 day lesson about how to fight. And we would meet with Tony or Anthony. We would meet with him away from set and on the weekends and learn more. And he taught us the whole. You know, it was fun, particularly with me and I think Ezra and Nathan. You know.
Yeah.
You know, that conflict is there again, and this time it's swords. You know, and you know, we see that you know, Nathan is the superior fighter. You know. Yeah. And we see him become the instructor for Dale. I keep thinking of Dale for Buck in this fight. Literally a fight for his life. Yeah. You know, and I thought it turned out really, really cool. I look at it now and it's like I wish I could have been more proficient with the sword, because some of it looks choreographed, but I blame myself because I'm not a swordsman. You know? But I thought Dale did a great job, and his fight with Jesse, what's Jesse's last name? The villain in that episode. I'm gonna have to IMDb it. Jesse, is it Borrega? Is that his last name?
Know.
But you know
Yeah.
I mean, he comes into town, you know, with his boys, and they're from Mexico, and they're getting ready to just wipe everyone out,
Yeah.
you know, and he's come, you know, to get the girl and take her back, and so Dale has to win, or Buck has to win this fight, you know. If he doesn't, he's gonna die, you know. And I think Nathan tells him that, like, you know, if you don't do this the right way, he will kill you.
Yeah.
You know. So, and then A. Martinez plays his, you know, his bodyguard, you know, the villain's bodyguard. He did a great job. I love the sword fighting. I'm just not. I guess I'm not too pleased with what I did. I just wish I could have made it look better. But I'd love another shot at it. You know. So. But you know, that was more Buck's fight than Nathan's fight. You know? So when I look at it now, I think they did a great job.